Shalom, shalom. It's following Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rod. I think, as far as myself goes, I can't tell you about everybody else in their channels or whatever. But as far as myself, I think one misconception that people have is that I am a prepper. I'm not. And number two, that I hope something bad happens so that I could use my preparations. I could use the things that I've stored. And that could be further from the truth. I honestly, truly hope absolutely nothing happens. Because this channel was not built on preparedness anyways. This channel was built on family. So if nothing goes on, then I can continue to talk about family and marriage and the things that I originally started talking about on this channel. This is not a prepper channel. I talk about preparedness because it's the lifestyle of our ancient people, the Hebraic people, the biblical people. Now, our biblical people, when things went on and society went bad, they either had preparations stored up for those times, storehouses as the Bible calls them, or, a lot of people don't understand our ancient culture about storehouses and the putting of food away, the story of Joseph, things like that. Self-sustainability as much as possible. The second thing that they did is they traveled, they moved. They would move to a different location if things got bad where they were. But we miss that today. In fact, today, a majority of people that claim that they are of the Bible, especially the Hebraic people, are not a people of foresight. They're not a people of they don't see what's coming and hide themselves. So what that's led to a lot of people, especially because of the color of my skin, that leads to a lot of misjudgments. I've seen a lot of people who used to, be in their preparedness start fading away from the idea of being prepared for bad times. Being prepared for times that, the Bible foretells us. It says the prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself. So even if you were a person that was not in the preparedness, just looking at the way things are today, it should cause you to say, maybe I should put some extra food back. Maybe I should learn to use my, firearm. Maybe I should learn to be a little bit more self-sustainable instead of relying upon a system. Thank you, sweetie. But it seems what has happened is you get judged and you get labeled because other people don't want to do it. Excuse me. And it's been kind of mind-blowing to see the amount of people, well, I don't have to, prepare, and you should stop talking about that because, why? Because you don't want to do it? Because you don't want to do it? Well, for me, I have a family. In today's modern society, people have bank accounts, which is a form of preparedness. It's storing up storing up cash, and cash reserve, money reserve, 401k, stocks, bonds, or cryptos, wherever you invest in, gold, silver, buying tangible things that go up in value, like firearms, like old collectible cars or basketball cards, or whatever trinket or thing that is you that you hold on to for value. People do it all the time. And nobody tells that person that has the money stuck in the bank account collecting 0.00000000001 interest. Nobody calls him foolish. Nobody calls him stupid. Nobody says, oh, you're fear mongering. But yet that person's preparing for the possibility of a time where he's gonna need that. Planning for your retirement is preparation. You're storing up money for the time where you're not gonna be at the ability to be as productive and make the money that you were making. So most people's retirement is, okay, I'm out of a job, or I quit, or I retired, which means that I'm now going to be living I'm not going to be living off of the money. Stop, stop. I'm not going to be living off of the money that I was making. I'm going to be living off of this fixed. Be quiet. I'm doing a video. I'm going to be living off of the money that I have put aside. So it's mind-blowing the amount of people that, especially amongst these generations of people that trust in the world. And they'll say trust in Yah, but it's really trusting in what you're trusting in that job. You're trusting in, you'll say, well, you're trusting in your preps. I'm not trusting in my preps because I have them. I'm putting stuff aside because the Bible tells me the prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself. And that's one of the ways of hiding yourself. I could look at the book, and I could see in the book, the Bible, that Joseph stored up food when he got the dream that a famine was coming. I could look in the Bible and see that even in the time when the children of Israel were in the desert, that they were told on the 6th day, gather up enough manna for the 6th and 7th day. And those that did not gather up enough manna for the 6th and 7th day didn't have manna on the 7th day. Didn't have food. I can see in the Bible the 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins. I can read these parables. I can read the Bible and see that there were famines routinely in the Bible. It was a part of, and as you see, when those famines came, a lot of the ancient Israelites relocated. They went somewhere else. They went to a different location. The story of Ruth. In the Bible, and there was a famine in the land. The story of Elijah. People oftentimes relocated when there were famines to areas where there was still plenty of food, or where they still at least had food. So the idea of preparedness and people saying, well, I don't have to me is very foolish, in that if you are a person that says you believe the Bible, if you're a Hebrew or stranger, but you are an Israelite, you should be able to read in the Bible and see it was our ancient custom to make sure that we had something left over, that we had an abundance, that we had food for later, just in case. It's not saying we hope bad things happen. It's not saying that we hope society falls apart. In fact, I hope it doesn't. I hope that my children get to inherit everything that I'm doing and things smoothly transition over and they don't ever have to partake in any difficulties. But see, any sort of situation like that can happen in your life. Everyone's waiting for the great comet to come and hit the earth, or Yellowstone to blow, or this great nuclear bomb that's going to blow everybody up, or EMP that shuts everything down. You could have a shit hits the fan situation in your local area. Tornado, hurricane, floods, earthquake, for those of us that live in the West Coast. And right now on the West Coast, drought. Having some extra food is just wise. Having 6 months of food right now is super, uber wise. And water is uber wise if you're in the West right now. How many people have lost their job and didn't have food? And because, they didn't put provisions back, literally their lives were crap. I remember when I transitioned from the city out here, we ate out of our food storage. We had food stored up, and we were able to eat out of our food storage while I was getting everything established here. Because when you move out here and you realize, man, the nearest grocery store is 45 minutes, an hour away, 2 hours away, however far it is where you are. When you realize it's that far away, I can't just keep running to the store. And then you just can't do that. You have to prepare. And what it really is that people don't prepare for their life. So when they look at your life and they say, well, you're storing this or storing that, it's not storing, it's preparedness. I am prepared for a time that could be bad. I try to prepare myself for things that you could foresee happening. That's what I'm preparing for. The things that you don't see. And then when you have somebody telling you, when you can look on the news and say, man, things are falling apart. Wouldn't it be nice to eat? Wouldn't it be nice to know that if China decides not to send one more shipload of anything to this country, you'll still be able to eat? Isn't it nice to know that you'll still be able to raise some crops? You'll still be able to feed your family. Nothing is worse. When we read a man that does not provide for his own is worse than an infidel and hath denied the faith, we read that, we immediately assume you got to have a job. Yes, you got to have a job, but it's more than just you got to have money. It's spiritually. Are you preparing for your house spiritually? But your family is not going to be surviving eating spiritual food. And what I mean by that is they still going to starve to death. So what about the physical food? What about the good nutrient dense food? You can feed your children a bunch of shit and they're going to grow up and live a disease-infested, unhealthy lifestyle. So there's that preparation. So while I'm putting food in the ground and growing nutrient-dense food, that's not because I'm a prepper. None of this stuff is because I'm a prepper. It's because the prudent man foresees the evil. It's because I care for my family. I care what they eat. I care what they see. I care what they read. I care about the music out here. The only music that I get to listen to is the music that we play. The only TV shows they get to hear about. There's things that they have no clue that this city has to offer. No clue what these cities have to offer. None. Good, clean water. Healthy food. We're still working on the meat, but we're getting there. Eggs produced here. I know what I'm putting into my children. So I know that the vitamins that they're getting. I don't have to worry about, well, I wonder if this organic lettuce is really organic. I can tell you what's organic because I put the shit in the ground and grew it. Literally. Okay, I put the seeds in the shit in the ground and they grew it. I can tell you that it's nutrient. I can tell you that squash is good for them. I can tell them that these things are good for them. So this lifestyle is not, for me, has never been about, well, I'm a super prepper this and prepper that. No, my lifestyle is that of an Israelite. And I can read in a book that was their lifestyle. I can read in the book, it was their lifestyle. And it's been beneficial for me and many, many, many brothers that have left these metropolitan areas. I'm not saying that you're bad because you live in one. I'm saying don't speak against and don't talk crap about those that are choosing to live. That's why I choose not to talk crap against people that live in a city. I talk to many brothers that live in a city. And the reality of it is many of them look at it and say, man, I now wish I was living your life and not this life. I wish that my family would be able. I can't tell you the amount of brothers that have come out here from cities, visited, and have said, man, I wish my family could live this because it would be so beneficial for my family. It'd be beneficial. I believe that my marriage the construct of it would change. I gotta tell them, brother, that's you. It's moving out here is not gonna save your marriage, but it is a better and more beneficial life for your children, for you, to be in a place where your children can come out and eat blackberries whenever they feel like it, can come out and eat fresh figs whenever they feel like it. The pears and the peaches and the apples once they come in, when they feel like it. Strawberries, blueberries, when they feel like it. So I would just, my hope is that people stop speaking against the things that you don't know nothing of. If you've never lived it, then how do you have so much to say about it? If you've never lived this life, how do you have so much to say about it? Because I'm not hoping that something bad happens in this world. I'm hoping that things go great. I'm hoping that all the things that I'm doing, that, the food storage you put, I hope that it's just an investment for me and my family for later. That we can crack open these buckets like we're doing right now, 11 and 12 and 13 years later, and the food's good, and I saved some money because I bought those bags when the 25-pound bags were, $5, and now the 20-pound bags are $10. So I saved some money. But if it doesn't happen that way and things do happen, I'm at least in a situation, in a place where my family can eat. While the naysayers are going to be saying, man, I should have done that. And yes, you should have done that. But at least be humble enough to say, hey, I can't do it right now, but I can still see it's a beneficial life. Bless y'all. I thought we had a storm rolling in. Shalom.